This afternoon, this morning, this evening, wherever you are, I want to talk about efficacy. Efficacy is a term that I really didn't fully understand until later in my principalship, as we really began to not just change, but have the results to justify what we were doing. Efficacy in a nutshell is, we all establish our goals, but what's the degree to which we achieve those goals? What we learned was, and what I learned is there's 5 keys to achieving efficacy. Those are essential questions, research, practicality, evidence accountability, and reflection. So I'm going to focus really on efficacy in innovation, which is something I think is one of the most played out buzzwords in education. Innovation, new and better, but what are the results that an innovative idea or strategy is actually better? So 5 keys to achieving efficacy in education. Number 1, essential questions. Questions provide the context for where we want to go, how we'll get there, and whether or not success is achieved. Having more questions than answers is a natural part of the initial change process. Number 2, research. Research is prevalent in education for a reason, but it's important for us to determine what's good research and what can we use. It provides us a baseline for what has been found to actually work when it comes to student learning, teaching, and leadership. So number 3, practicality. It's hard to achieve efficacy if the ideas and strategies aren't practical when we look at resources, challenges, and everything that we are faced with in education. So when we think about everything that we do should align with the demands and the time constraints of the job. And this really includes, achievement as well as implementing innovative ideas. If it's not practical, the drive to implement new ideas and practices wanes or actually never materializes. And it's very important when we think about innovation or the use of technology. Number 4, evidence and accountability. As many of you know, I don't shy away from saying how important this is. It's a fact of the job. It's something that matters regardless if we're a teacher or administrator. When we think about it, evidence and accountability are part of every profession, and it really has to be something that we bring more to the forefront in education. If we want to scale work, evidence and accountability is important. As Tom Murray and I talked about in Learning Transform, there has to be a return on instruction. We invest in technology, professional development, and innovative ideas. What is the result in terms of evidence of improved outcomes? And finally, when we talk about keys to efficacy, number 5 is reflection. When it's all said and done, the most important thing we do is reflect on our practice. In terms of efficacy, consider these. Did my kids learn? How do I know if my students learned? How do I know if my students learned? What can be done to improve? And what point of view have I not considered? This just comes from experience, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that these are the only elements when thinking about efficacy, but these 5 keys, whether it's my work as a principal or the work that I now engage in with schools as a coach across the country, across the United States and the world, have been found to play pivotal roles in achieving efficacy. Please share whatever you think about that in terms of what's been successful for you. Thanks, everybody.